There comes a time in every man's life when the stillness of the night speaks louder than the noise of the day. For many older adults, that time is 3 a.m. Friends, seniors, seekers of better sleep and sharper minds, have you ever asked yourself why you keep waking up in the deep hours of the night, night after night, almost as if summoned by some invisible force? Let me tell you this, it is not a curse, and it is not simply part of getting older. No, it is a signal, one that your body, mind, and spirit are trying to send you. And if you listen closely, you will unlock the kind of power that most people sleep through their entire lives. Waking up at 3 a.m., especially for older adults, is often seen as an inconvenience or a frustrating interruption to rest. However, it can actually be much more than that. It's a signal, a form of communication from the body and mind. As we age, sleep tends to become lighter and more fragmented, but waking consistently around the same time each night points to something deeper than just biology. It's often the result of patterns and imbalances that deserve attention, not dismissal. These wake-ups may reflect stress, unresolved emotions, or even lifestyle factors such as late caffeine intake, poor diet, or lack of physical activity during the day. The body has its own internal rhythms, its own way of processing tension, hormones, and energy, and when something is out of alignment, it may manifest in early awakenings. While it's easy to blame age, the truth is that these moments often hold valuable insight into what's really happening in your life. Rather than seeing a 3 a.m. wake-up as a problem to fix immediately with pills or frustration, consider it a prompt for self-awareness. What thoughts are running through your mind when you wake? What habits during the day might be impacting your nights? The body is incredibly wise, and when it wakes you up at the same hour repeatedly, it's often trying to bring something to your attention, perhaps stress you're carrying, emotions you've buried, or health habits that need to shift. By listening instead of resisting, you can begin to understand the root cause of the interruption. This reframing of the experience, from annoyance to awareness, can empower you to take conscious steps toward better sleep, better health, and a better understanding of yourself in this stage of life. As we grow older, our sleep naturally changes. It's not a flaw or a sign of something going wrong. It's a normal part of the aging process. One of the most noticeable shifts is how our internal body clock, or circadian rhythm, begins to adjust. Older adults often feel sleepy earlier in the evening and wake up earlier in the morning. This shift is partly due to a reduction in melatonin, the hormone that helps regulate sleep-wake cycles. With less melatonin being produced, it becomes harder to stay asleep through the night. At the same time, the body's production of cortisol, the hormone associated with stress and alertness, can increase earlier in the morning. This means that even a small disturbance, such as a noise or a slight discomfort, is more likely to wake you during the early hours. Once awake, it can be difficult to fall back asleep because the body has already begun preparing for the day, hormonally speaking. Age can also bring physical changes that affect sleep. Conditions like arthritis, bladder issues, sleep apnea, or restless legs syndrome are more common in older adults and can lead to more frequent nighttime awakenings. Medications used to manage chronic conditions may also interfere with sleep by causing drowsiness during the day or stimulating wakefulness at night. However, just because these changes are common doesn't mean they have to be accepted without question. Understanding that your sleep patterns are evolving gives you the power to adapt in healthy ways. Adjusting your bedtime routine, creating a restful environment, and making lifestyle changes can help improve sleep quality. By recognizing these biological shifts not as limitations, but as signals to respond to, you gain the ability to take control of your sleep and overall well-being. The mind plays a powerful role in the quality of your sleep, especially as you age. What you carry into the night, your thoughts, worries, and emotional weight, can significantly influence how deeply and peacefully you rest, Many older adults find themselves waking up at 3 a.m. not because of physical discomfort, but because the mind has not been given a chance to settle. Racing thoughts, unresolved concerns, or anxieties about health, finances, or loved ones can surface in the quiet hours when distractions fade and the mind becomes more alert. Mental stress often triggers a physiological response. When the brain is active and anxious, the body can respond by releasing stress hormones like cortisol, which makes it even harder to stay asleep. Over time, this pattern creates a loop. Poor sleep increases stress, and increased stress leads to more sleep disturbances. Breaking that cycle requires a conscious effort to calm the mind before bed. One of the most effective ways to do this is by establishing a bedtime ritual that supports mental relaxation. This could include journaling to clear your thoughts, practicing gratitude to shift focus away from worry, or engaging in deep breathing or meditation. Turning off screens and reducing mental stimulation an hour before sleep also helps prepare the brain for rest. Sleep is not just a physical process. It is deeply connected to your emotional and mental state. When the mind is restless, sleep is shallow. When the mind is peaceful, sleep comes more easily. By taking steps to care for your mental well-being throughout the day, and especially in the evening, you create a space where restful sleep can naturally occur. Understanding this connection empowers you to take control of your nights through the care of your thoughts. The environment you sleep in has a profound impact on how well you rest, especially as you get older. Many people overlook how much the conditions of their bedroom contribute to nighttime awakenings, including those that occur at 3 a.m. As the body becomes more sensitive with age, even small disturbances in light, temperature, or noise can interrupt sleep more easily than before. Creating a supportive sleep environment is not just a matter of comfort, it's a key to maintaining deep, uninterrupted rest. Darkness is essential. As you age and melatonin levels decrease, it becomes even more important to reduce exposure to light, especially artificial light from phones, televisions, or streetlights outside your window. Even a small amount of light can signal the brain to wake up or prevent it from entering the deepest stages of sleep. Using blackout curtains, eye masks, and dim lighting in the hours before bed can help support your natural sleep cycle. Temperature is another critical factor. Older adults often experience changes in circulation and body temperature regulation, which can lead to discomfort during the night. A room that is too warm or too cold can cause you to wake up prematurely. The ideal sleep temperature for most people is between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit, so finding the right balance with bedding and room settings is essential. Noise is also disruptive, even if it doesn't fully wake you. It can prevent you from reaching the deeper, restorative stages of sleep. Soft background sounds like white noise or calming music may help block out sudden noises and create a more peaceful atmosphere. Your bedroom should be a sanctuary for rest. By designing your environment to support relaxation and minimizing factors that disrupt sleep, you give your body and mind the best chance to rest deeply and wake feeling refreshed. Waking up at 3 a.m. can feel frustrating, but it can also be an invitation to something deeper. Instead of seeing it as a disturbance, consider the possibility that these quiet hours are offering you space for reflection, insight, and renewal. In many cultures and philosophies, the early morning is seen as a sacred time, a moment when the world is still and the noise of daily life hasn't yet taken over. In that stillness, your inner thoughts, emotions, and spiritual needs can come forward more clearly. When you wake during these hours, it may be your body asking for more than sleep. Perhaps it's calling you to process unresolved emotions, rethink your habits, or simply pause and breathe. In the stillness of the night, without distractions or expectations, you have a rare opportunity to turn inward. Rather than reacting with irritation or anxiety, you can choose to treat the moment with calm curiosity. What's on your mind? What is your body feeling? What do you need? Engaging in gentle practices during these times, like slow breathing, prayer, or quiet meditation, can shift your experience from restlessness to renewal. Instead of trying to force yourself back to sleep with frustration, allow yourself to simply be still. Often, this shift in mindset alone can calm your system and help you return to sleep more easily. This moment of wakefulness does not have to be wasted time. It can become a ritual of self-care, a way to tune in rather than shut down. By accepting the experience rather than resisting it, you reclaim control over it. The night becomes less of a problem and more of a teacher, offering you peace, awareness, and even healing, if you're willing to listen. Many people believe that poor sleep is just an unavoidable part of aging, something to be accepted rather than changed. But that belief is not only disempowering, it's incorrect. While it's true that the body undergoes changes with age, it doesn't mean that restful, restorative sleep is out of reach. The truth is, you have more control over your sleep and overall health than you may realize. With the right mindset and consistent habits, better sleep is entirely possible, even in later years. Taking control begins with understanding the patterns behind your sleep disruptions. Are you drinking caffeine too late in the day? Are you spending too much time sitting and not enough moving? Are you exposing yourself to bright screens late at night or dealing with unresolved stress that weighs on your mind when things go quiet? These are not just minor details. They are choices that influence your sleep every single night. By becoming more aware of these factors, you can begin making intentional changes. Daily exercise, even something as simple as a walk, helps regulate your body's natural rhythms. Eating lighter meals in the evening can ease digestion and promote comfort. A consistent bedtime routine signals to your brain that it's time to wind down. Mindful practices such as breathing exercises, gratitude journaling, or calming music can reduce mental chatter and prepare you for deeper rest. These changes may seem small, but when practiced consistently, they can dramatically improve the quality of your sleep and, by extension, your health. The key is recognizing that you are not powerless in this process. Aging does not mean giving up control, it means learning to adapt with wisdom. When you take proactive steps, you not only sleep better, you wake up each day with more clarity, energy, and purpose.